So my name's Eddy. I'm a triathlete. Long distance Ironman is my sort of preferred event. I've been competing in sport for 20 years, in triathlon for almost that length of time. I'm director of communities at Mounts Bay, and like I said, in my pastime, I train for long distance triathlon.
So what inspired you to start your journey into triathlon?
So sport's always been a massive part of my life. From a young age, I always competed in a lot of different sports. I never really had an evening off when I was younger, always competing in something. I'd go from hockey across to the swimming pool and vice versa. And I just always had a passion to compete, and my main sort of drive was always against myself in competition, and I just love the sporting arena. Happened to do a triathlon 20 years ago now, and at the time it was something that I just did to challenge myself. We never really trained for it, didn't really know what we were sort of doing, and then sort of 5-10 years down the line I realised, oh, actually if I train for this, then I might do alright in this sport. And then I slowly just stepped up through the distances, and here we are today when I'm competing in long distance in a silly sport that takes up a lot of time.
I had a question from social media, was how do you balance work, home and competitive sport?
It's always a challenge, and I always say to people, there's always time. There's always time to fit things in. Bit of heat training tonight. A 30-minute effort, that sweet spot, and a couple of VO2 efforts at the end. Legs are tired from running last night. Got to get it done. Let's get the sweat on. And what I do is training to compete, and what other people maybe are looking to do is train to be healthy and fitness. And I think you can always squeeze that 10, 15, 20 minutes in a day, and it's just making it part of your routine that you feel more accountable to yourself when you're looking to do that. Whether you've got goals along the way is a massive help. For me, if I wasn't competing to a high level and had an end goal and what I'm trying to achieve, then getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning to train, might be a bit of an endless task for me. But if I've got a goal that's set, and that could be for anyone, whether that's a fitness goal or a health goal, or they want to do their first 5k run or first 10k run, whatever it is, it's just kind of setting that goal and working towards it. But in terms of balancing work and life hours, I wouldn't say I always get it right. I kind of miss certain things, or family time, or family events over the years, or birthdays, or different things, because I'm off doing competing or other things. But for me, it's just a big part of my life, and it is just who I am, and it's making it part of that and just enjoying the process. And there's times when maybe you don't want to be there, but my dedication and commitment has always been my biggest strength.
Not the ideal prep for Kona conditions when it's going to be 30 degrees and humid, but get the session done, keep the hat on, try and keep warm as I can. The rain's not ideal for September, is it?
And following on from that, obviously we're from West Cornwall, and doing what you're doing within the triathlon scene, what were the stages you followed to kind of get to that goal of where you are now? What was that journey? What did that journey look like?
I guess when I came into sport, triathlon's quite a young sport in terms of, comparing it to a football or rugby or netball or those other sports out there, and team sports and athletics. But because triathlon's quite a young sport, when I started, I didn't really know about the training for the event. I kind of me and my friends that train down here, we just lived off the fact that we swum and we ran around a bit doing sport, that we could go and do a triathlon, and we'd be like, oh, there's a triathlon coming up, I should probably go for a 30-minute run soon, not knowing the process, the amount of times we'd cycle over to, do a half an hour cycle and think that was enough to train for an event at the time. But I guess back to your question, it's kind of just building into that process, and it doesn't matter what sport you're in or what level you're at, it's just kind of staircasing up. So it was like the first time was complete a triathlon, next time was just trying to improve myself. And I guess in my sport, your biggest competitor is yourself in trying to improve. You can't worry about what the other competition's doing, and if they're improving, you just need to up your game as you go as well. But it's I competed locally, then I competed nationally, and then I competed internationally. It was the process with it, really.